turning it up. Straight up. It's nothing like hearing your shit on the radio because you know thousands of people are listening to it also. That shit is dope. I don't ever feel the responsibility to impress people with my music. I do feel like I gotta get in, do my music to the best of my ability. The critics out there basically like kiss my ass straight up because they know nothing about what goes into this. They're just people with a 9 to 5 behind a fucking typewriter and a CD player listening to it and critiquing it. All the critics just need to shut the fuck up until they do or try to do the shit that they're criticizing. You know what I'm saying? No disrespect to them, but they always got some bullshit flying around. Who's dissing who's fucking who, and man, come on with that. No, I wanna read some intelligent shit. The whole East Coast, West Coast thing, you know what I'm saying? No disrespect to them, but they always got some bullshit flying around. You read some shit that somebody on the East Coast said about the West Coast, and vice versa, and you got major problems. The smart people know that you just can't diss a whole coast. If you got a problem with somebody, you got a problem with that individual. Square off with him. Don't go dissing a whole fucking coast. You know what I'm saying? Because, like I said, the public is not stupid. They know what time it is. They know what you're trying to do. You're trying to sell some records. Straight up. Because if you had beef with a person, you're going to step to that person and say what you got to say. You know what I'm saying? And handle it like a goddamn man. Straight up. Instead of getting on a record and spending hours and hours in the studio trying to think of some shit to say about a whole fucking coast. When you can handle it with a simple phone call or simply walking up to the person, getting your shit off your chest. People still dissing people on record, but that is a fucking childish brain, you know? We're stuck in the fucking 80s. It's time to move on to something else. It's really up in the air, you know? Everybody's sitting on edge waiting to see who's gonna do the next thing, what's gonna be the next shit that everybody's gonna follow, you know? The music talks about crime, violence, and drugs because it exists. You know what I'm saying? It's there. I mean, you can't, there's no fiction. Hip-hop music is just an extension of what's going on in every ghetto. It's definitely a way to get some frustration and anger off your chest because you got a problem with somebody. Instead of you going to pull a gun, you can just write some lyrics up about them and go in the studio and swing it. I do think it's easier to sell a gangster rap record than it is to sell a positive record because kids always want to hear something that they're not going to hear at school or at church, you know what I'm saying? How would Martin Luther King react to hip-hop music right now? Man, I think he would be definitely into it. A lot of people want to get into it strictly for the money. That's cool, you know. I'm in it for both reasons. I love the art, and I love the fact that it's paying the bills, straight up. As far as the lyrical content on records, you know, let's move on. You know, how many times can you kill people on the record? How many times can you say motherfucker? It's time to move on and come up with some new shit. Let's move on, you know, because I'm tired of going in the fucking record shops in the rap section, being all the way in the back of the fucking store. You go on Tower Records and you ask for the rap section, and they immediately point your ass to the back of the fucking store, and you gotta go through there, and the section is about 5 feet wide. And the reason is, nobody's putting out no good product, you know? Everybody's doing the same shit. Until we start having some fucking variety, and everybody starts getting in doing different shit instead of trying to follow what the next man is doing, the rap section will continue to be in the fucking back of the store. Rap section, hip-hop section, whatever the fuck you want to call it, you know, can continue to be in the back of the store until somebody or everybody steps up and starts doing different shit to make the song fit the artist, you know what I'm saying? I mean, I like to roll with the people that I'm producing for a while before we start working, and, you know, kick it around, just get into their head and try to make the music fit them. Like I was saying, man, everybody has their own sound. Every section, answer the question? Did I just start talking about some bullshit?